Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and today I'm going to review my second MumuBiz Zigbee product, which is the single channel relay module. And this comes without a box, so this is more something that you can install somewhere, maybe within a device or in a project box when you want to control something over Zigbee. And this came in a simple anti-static bag and also came with a remote, because even though it works on Zigbee, so you can control it via Zigbee network, it also has an RF receiver, so you should be able to pair a simple 433 MHz RF button to it. And this is the second product that I'm reviewing from MumuBiz. I also have a temperature and the humidity sensor from them, and there is a very similar product to this one. It's comes in an enclosure and it has two outputs, but all of them are in Zigbee. So let's talk about this device first. So as I said, it is like a DIY option because you only get the PCB. So you most probably want to mount it in a box or within the device that you want to control. It can control mains devices as well, because the relay on this device is rated for 10 amps and up to 250 volts. But the power supply for the unit itself is low voltage. So you can use the micro USB. So basically any USB power adapter, or you have the socket here that you can power it from an AC or a DC voltage from 7 to 32 volts. So if you have some low power devices, then well, you can just use it and then hopefully power it from the same power. So let's say you have a very simple LED strip, which is like a single color LED strip. For that LED strip, most probably you have a 12 or maybe a 24 volt power supply as well. So you can use the same power supply to control this, which is going to turn on the LED strip and also power your LED strip. So you don't need a separate controller for that. And because it has all the relay outputs, well, you can also control low power devices with this. So any DC power or anything which requires a simple dry contact. So for example, a garage door opener, you can connect your garage door lines, which usually like there are two lines that you can connect to the garage motor, and you connect it to the normally open and the common pin here, and then when you basically turn on this device from your app, your garage door is going to go up or it's going to go down. Within the box you are getting this device, and whether you need the optional RF button, you can purchase that separately, or this is just a generic 433 MHz key fob. So if you have something lying around at home, you can just use it and pair it with this device. And there is a very simple instruction manual. It comes in a single language. Oh no, sorry, it comes in two languages, because one side is English and the other side is, well, I guess it's Chinese, but I don't speak Chinese, so I can't really tell. So it shows you a very simple way of how you, well, first of all, how you can also connect it. So you can see the wiring diagram and the various input and output terminals, and how you set it up in the Tuya app. And now in this video, I'm going to test it with Tuya and also going to test it with eWeLink. So to power up this device, I'm just going to use a USB power bank, and I'm going to connect this device and I'm going to turn on the power bank. And now you can see it is turned on. And it has two buttons, and let me just check the manual again. And you have a mode switch button and the manual switch button. So this is the manual switch, and as you can see, that's basically your local control. So if you press this switch, then you can turn on the relay. Also, what you can do is, if you long press this switch, that's how you pair the RF button. So if I long press this, so if I press the inner button, which is the manual button, for a long time, then this blue light comes on, and now I can pair any button on the RF remote. So this is going to work as a latching button. So if I press A, then the relay turns on. If I press it again, then the relay turns off. So you can easily pair any RF key fob or RF remote to this device. And the reason this is important, because not only that you can get these key fobs, but you can also get many RF wall switches from many different vendors, and they would work exactly just like this one. So you can mount it somewhere, and I just have a switch on your wall which looks like a normal light switch, but actually it is a battery operated RF light switch. So I already told you how you can pair an external key fob. I'm also going to show you how you can change the mode on this device, because there is this mode switch here, so that I use the inner switch for pairing and also to operate the relay. So it still works as a relay button. But if I press on this button for a short time, you can see that the blue LED comes on for a short amount of time. And that's when, just to show you that you have changed the mode. So now if I click on the button, then it's a momentary. And the same works with the key fob. So if I press the key fob, the relay comes on and it goes off automatically. So again, that's the application how you would use it with a garage door opener. So it's just going to give you a short signal for your garage door motor to either go up or either come down. And if you want to go back to the other mode, you press the button again, and now if I use the key fob or the button, it is in latching mode, so not in momentary mode anymore. You can see that the red LED is blinking because it is not paired with any Zigbee hub at the moment. So first I'm going to use the Tuya application to show how it's done. And for the Zigbee hub, I'm going to use my BWIS1. So this is a Blitzwolf Zigbee hub, which I made a separate video about. And as far as I know, this is actually a discontinued product. So there is a BWIS10, which, yeah, pretty much the same. It's a different case, but if you need one, you should be able to use that. So I go into my Zigbee hub and I click on Add Sub-Device, and I have to make sure that it's blinking, which it does. And we just have to wait until this device is discovered by the Zigbee hub. And I think it's already done. You can see that the blinking stopped. And if I click on Done, I probably need to rename this, because, well, it is not really user-friendly. Let's say I'm going to use this as a garage door opener. So if I save it and I'm done, actually I should have added to my living room so I can find it easily, but oh, it's on the top of the list. So you can see it here, and if I click on that, we just wait for this screen to load, which only have to wait for a first time, and you have a simple switch. Well, there is not much to this. As you can see, it's, well, you have a switch. You can rename this switch as well, which, I mean, in this case, it doesn't really make sense because it's only one. So I've already, specified garage up here, but I would assume that it would be multi-channel. Then you can name the two channels separately. And you can also set up a timer here. So let's say if I turn this one on, I can set up a timer. Then let's say after, 10 minutes, I want this device to turn off. So this is a simple timer functionality that you always have to do manually. So it's not like like an auto off functionality. And as you can see, you are also getting a notification here that this relay will close in 10 minutes. Well, let's say if it's a garage door, then that garage door is going to close in 10 minutes. So that's all that you are getting in the app. You have the manual control, you have a timer. If I go into the settings, well, you can see that you have the option to, rename, change, modify the location. So now I can put it into my living room. And other than that, yeah, you can get offline notification and multi-control association. So that's the function where you can link multiple devices together in some sort of group. So let's say if this one is controlling a light and you have a second one which is controlling the light, you can link them together so they would both come on or go off at the same time. And of course you can share the device with another, Tuya user. So that's it. I mean, it's a simple switch. You don't really expect a lot more than that. Probably the only other thing we can look at is what is available in the smart option. So if I click on plus, I would assume that you can create an automation whether this relay is getting turned on or turned off. So when the device status changes, and the garage and the switch, and yes. So with these, if you select on, you can create an automation what should happen if this gets turned on. And of course, you can also create an automation where the end result or the action of the automation that this device either gets turned on or turned off. So let's say if I have a Wi-Fi switch, so I can say that when the device status changes, and I just need to remember, yeah, let's say the BWSS5 is a Wi-Fi switch. So let's say if that gets turned on, then I want this device to also turn on. So I select run device, the garage, the switch, and on. Oh, we also have a reverse switch option here, so that's going to toggle the output, which is actually a nice feature. But you save, and this is how you link two devices together. So one device controls my other device. So fairly simple. I'm not going to save this one. So this is what you get in the Tuya application in terms of the main application screen or the main device screen, and also what you can do in automation. Now I have removed this device from our Tuya gateway, and we are going to see how that works in Sonoff or in eWeLink. So first of all, I need to find my eWeLink gateway, Zigbee gateway in my list. I do have a separate video on how you can install and use the Zigbee gateway, or the Zigbee bridge it's called. So you go to the Zigbee bridge and you add the new device to your Zigbee bridge. And again, that's going to work exactly the same how we've seen in Tuya. So you click on the add button, the LED is already flashing, so we just have to wait for a couple of seconds to be discovered, and it's done already. And we just wait until it gets added to our system. And yeah, it's here. And as you can see, you can control it from here. So it gets a random name. So if I go into details and if I go here, I can rename this. So this is going to be my MumuBiz. Oops. Come on. Let's say MumuBiz relay. And again, you can create an assignment to a room, and that's it. So now if I go into my living room, I just have to find this new device, which is probably going to be on the top. Yes, it is. And on the main screen, you get this big, button. If you click on this, then it's going to either turn the device on or off. And by the way, I haven't shown this in the Tuya app, but if you change the mode now, then it's still going to work. So then you don't control the mode from the application, but you control it with the device or with the button on the device. So if you want to use it as a garage door opener at eWeLink, you can just use that. You click, your garage goes up, and then it immediately switches off, and you can see the same being done in the application as well. So let me just turn it back to the regular mode. What we have here on the application screen is what you would expect from other, single output devices. You have schedules, so you can create an hour or a minute in a day, or any days of the week when this device should either turn on or turn off. So you can have multiple of these settings. So let's say it turns off at 6 o'clock and then it turns off at 8. So you create 2 of these schedules. And very similarly how we have done the timers on the Tuya application, let's say I switch on the device and I create a timer that in half an hour I want this to be turned off, and I can do it either way, so either turn it on or turn it off. So this is a thing that you create once and then it executes. If you want to do it again, you have to set this up manually. You can see that I have one timer active. And similarly, we also have a loop timer here. I usually demonstrate this alternate mode where you create 2 cycles. So let's say you have an off cycle which is for 30 minutes and you have an on cycle which is for 30 minutes. So if you do that, you specify that it should start at 10 a.m. today, and then if you enable it, then this device is going to cycle. It's going to be on for half an hour and off for half an hour. So again, if you need some intermittent operation like that, you can configure it here on the loop timer. But these are all the features that you get, and in the settings, as you've seen, you get the the name, the location assignment, and you also get a log. So it's going to show you who changed this device, whether that got triggered externally like the key fob, or whether it was done by one of the users. And that's why it shows you the email ID, because if you share this device with another user, then you can see who was operating that device. But that's pretty much it. And if we look at the automations, I think we can expect what this unit is going to do. So you can create an automation which triggers whether this device got turned on or off. Yep. And also, if you create another trigger from, let's say, a temperature sensor or whatever, you can also action this device, so smart device, to either turn on and off. It doesn't do really anything else, but that's what you expect from a simple smart relay. So I hope that this gives you an idea of how you can use this device. I mean, as I said, I haven't spent an awful lot of time on the wiring, but yeah, you can either power it from the USB or just apply power to these two terminals, and you have the free relay terminals here. So as I said, if you want to connect a bulb or any mains device, you just use the common and the normally open terminals, and you connect the wires between them. But you also have a very simple wiring diagram here in the documentation as well. So you connect the live to the common, and then the light bulb to the normally open, and then you also connect the neutral to the bulb, and that's pretty much it. And the power supply is completely separate from that. So that would be my review of this MumuBiz single channel Zigbee and RF relay. If you are interested in this product, I'm going to leave purchasing links in the video description. But that would be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.